Hello, my name is Russ Homans. I'm with Phoenix Sales. Today I'd just like to take you through how you can configure an analog module for the type of input or the type of output that you need. So I'm going to start by creating a new project. So I'm just going to go to Project and New, and I'm going to choose a 7-inch screen. And I'm going to do a FP5070 TNE, so it has the expansion modules on it. And I'm going to do a native ladder. So I'll click OK, and then just accept the defaults for the project configuration. So it's creating the application now. And once the application is created, we'll go ahead and add the analog module that we want to use. And after we add the analog module, it will automatically create the tags for configuring the analog module inputs and outputs. So we'll go ahead and go to I/O allocation. We're going to expand that, and then we're going to click on expansion. And here you can see the slots that are assigned for that for the 7-inch screen with expansion slots. So we're just double click on slot 1. That's going to bring up our configuration window. So we're just going to configure slot 1 for the analog input. So for this example, we can go ahead and use a FPEA 0202L, so that's 2 inputs and 2 outputs. So we'll click on that, and here you can see it gives a description of that module and all the different electrical inputs that can be configured, as well as the outputs. So we'll go ahead and click OK there, and it's going to add these tags to the tag database. So go to tags now. And you can see that they've been added.
Oh, the car it's already.
So you can see that analog inputs. There's tags here for configuring the input types and for the output types. So if we need to see how these can be configured for the given application, what you can do is go to Windows, your Windows button, All Programs, and then you can go to FlexiSoft. And when you installed FlexiSoft, it actually put the manual in on your computer. So we have this FlexiSoft manual here. In the manual itself, you can see general information about the modules, and then further down in the manual you can see the configuration registers. So we'll look at the FPEA 0202. So that's this module here. So this gives a general description of the specs of the module and how it can be configured, the different configuration types, how you can wire it, how the module is wired. Zoom in on that a little bit. So that gives you the wiring connections. And then if you go further down in the manual, there's another section for the configuration registers. So there's configuring high speed counter, single phase counter, and there's going to be a configuration for the analog expansion modules. So that's this configuration of analog expansions, chapter 9.2. So you can see here that there's configuration for the expansion modules. So if we wanted a analog input range of 4 to 20 milliamp, we would have to write a 0 to that MW configuration register. If we want a 0 to 10 volt input, we would write 1, and it just continues on like that. Same thing is true for the analog output range. You have 4 to 20, 0 to 10 volt, and 0 to 20 milliamp. So they all have to be set to the proper number so that the software recognizes what type of input it needs to interpret it as. So then, in order to set those values, say we want to set channel 1 to 4 to 20 milliamp, we need to write 0 to the configuration register. So the way we can do that is we'll go back to the application, and what I am going to do is just on the first screen, you can expand this screen and go to tasks, and now you can write a task as a before showing task, and we want to write a value to tag. So we're going to write value to tag, and the tag that we're going to write to is the analog input configuration channel 0 type, and we'll simply write a 0 to that. So once we have that, we'll add that task. So when the system boots up for the first time, and every time after that, when you come to this screen, it's going to write a 0 to that MW register, and that will configure the analog input channel accordingly.